What is the environmental impact of oil and gas extraction? Have you ever wondered how the extraction of oil and gas affects our environment? This process involves removing fossil fuels from underground reservoirs, and it comes with a variety of environmental consequences. First, let's talk about land disturbance and habitat disruption. The extraction process requires drilling sites, roads, and other infrastructure. This can fragment ecosystems and displace wildlife, which can lead to a loss of biodiversity. Next, we have the issue of water contamination risks. Extraction methods, particularly hydraulic fracturing, can lead to the leakage of harmful chemicals or methane into groundwater and surface water. This poses serious risks to drinking water sources, which is a major concern for communities nearby. Air pollution is another significant impact of oil and gas extraction. Operations releases pollutants such as volatile organic compounds and methane, which is a potent greenhouse gas. These emissions contribute to local air quality issues and play a role in climate change. Waste generation is also a concern. Drilling produces waste fluids and solid waste that must be managed properly. If not handled correctly, these wastes can contaminate soil and water, further harming the environment. Greenhouse gas emissions are another critical factor. When fossil fuels are burned, they releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which drives climate change. This is a major issue that affects everyone on the planet. From a libertarian perspective, the focus is on property rights and voluntary agreements as the main way to address these environmental concerns. Libertarians believe that individuals or companies have the right to use their property as they wish, including extracting oil and gas, as long as they do not infringe on the rights of others. Environmental harm is viewed as a violation of property rights when it crosses boundaries and directly damages someone else's property or health. Libertarians argue that environmental protection should come from enforcing property rights and using market mechanisms instead of government regulations. If oil and gas extraction causes pollution that harms others, those affected can seek legal remedies for trespass or nuisance. Voluntary contracts and clear property boundaries are essential to prevent and resolve environmental disputes. Government intervention, like broad regulations or subsidies, is often seen as distorting markets and infringing on individual freedoms. In practical terms, libertarianism supports responsible resource development that respects the rights of others. It encourages innovation and efficiency through free market incentives rather than centralized control. This approach relies on clear legal frameworks to hold polluters accountable and on private stewardship to protect the environment, rather than blanket government mandates. In summary, oil and gas extraction has real environmental impacts, including land disruption, water and air pollution, and greenhouse gas emissions. The libertarian view emphasizes addressing these impacts through property rights enforcement and voluntary agreements, aiming to balance resource use with respect for individual rights and freedoms.